Okay, two people joined. That's great. Let me get some more light. Good evening, sir. How are you? Okay, so any questions? Anyone? Good evening. No questions. Boring. Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, Sun, Jupiter in the sixth house. For relationship matters, it is difficult because, sixth house is the house of conflicts, and so many planets in the sixth house means the person can have conflicts in relationship easily. So for relationship matters, it is difficult. But if this person goes into creative field, if this person goes into this something related with creativity and any of his creative interest like music, dancing, any hobby and all, then it can be excellent position. Okay, so relationship wise it is difficult position. If Saturn and Sun are within 7 degrees conjunction, but in two different houses, is Saturn is still combust? We can say so. It is like Sandhi conjunction, it is called Saturn Sun combination. Within 7 degrees is Sandhi conjunction, although they are in different houses or signs. What is the effect if Ketu is in true conjunction with Sun less than 1 degree? Person may have illusion around his career, maybe illusion around his father also. Some difficulties with authority figures. In this case, Saturn in 10th house and Sun Ketu in 11th. It is difficult for Sun, not that much for Saturn, but for Sun it is difficult. Person will have issues with authority figures, either in personal life or in professional life. Anyways, okay. Sorry. Does Mars Antardasha in Rahu Mahadasha always bad? Nothing is like always in astrology. I got my first job in Mars Antardasha of Rahu Mahadasha. So it depends on the houses, like signs, the dignity. Most importantly, how the person is utilizing that planetary placement. At the end of the day, how mm, the person is utilizing this. Okay, great. So there is nothing like always bad or always good. Okay, as always say that everything good has something bad attached. Everything bad has something good attached. Okay. Right. What happens when Saturn transit over Lagna? Whole life changes. Person's life can go through some major changes when like the person may have the Saturn transiting over the first house. It is a difficult transit because it brings change in your overall life, but it is still a transit one should take positively, because the changes which may happen in this time period may be very long term changes. I came into this profession when Saturn was transiting my ascendant. Okay. Well, Sadasati period gives a spiritual awakening. It depends on the person again. Okay, if he is ready to take spiritual guidance from the planets. Like yesterday also I said the same thing. Spiritual guidance is always available. Awakening is always available, whether you are receptive or not. Okay, like I gave the example yesterday of Ramdas, that he got this stroke and he was paralyzed by from his right side, and he took it as like universe is telling him to take rest. Okay, so it depends on the person. Not many people will take it like this. People will resist. okay, that how universe can do these things to me and all that. So it depends on the person if he is available for spiritual awakening or not. Spiritual awakening is always there. Also, when does Dasha Sandhi starts? Okay. When Dasha Sandhi starts, when moving from Rahu Mahadasha to Jupiter Mahadasha, and what are the probable outcomes during Dasha Sandhi? Are they good or bad? As I always say, everything good has something bad attached, everything bad has something good attached. There is nothing like completely good or completely bad. Sandhi period. Sandhi period is the bridging period between the two Mahadashas, your current Mahadasha and upcoming Mahadasha. The bridging period is Sandhi period. So what Sandhi period does is that you will start seeing changes coming into your life. Okay, you will start feeling that this last Antardasha of your current Mahadasha will start setting the stage for the next Mahadasha. So Rahu Mars Dasha will start setting the stage for Jupiter Mahadasha. It can be a transitioning period. As I always say, be receptive towards the transition rather than be resisting towards the transition. Okay, if you are receptive, then you can be in fine situation. If you are not receptive, if you are resisting, then it can be difficult also. Okay, so it good or bad largely depends on how you are taking that event. Okay, if you are taking that event positively or not, that's it. Mercury with Sun in 10th house, Moon in Gemini in 4th house. Great. What is the question? Please post your questions also, because I may not be able to guess what is the question. How will it be in Mahadasha? Again, are you asking about Mercury Mahadasha? Right, great. So Mercury with Sun in the 10th house and Moon in Gemini in 4th house. That means Mercury is in Sagittarius sign. It is in enemy sign, although it is in like average situation. Okay, Mercury is in average situation, although it is in enemy sign, but it is in the 10th house, which it is Karaka of. Mercury represents business. If you are going through Mercury Dasha, ideally you should be in your own business. Mercury also rules the houses related with business, so best results under this Dasha can come up only when you are going through a business. If you are not doing any business in this Dasha, then average results will come. Okay, it is gentle benefic planet, so average results will still come, but the best result you can expect if you are in a business set of work. Also, that business can be of knowledge sharing, any kind of teaching, guiding, counseling. That type of work will help you. So that is going to be the best option for you. Then, does the subconscious mind really determines one's 3D reality? What does Jyotish say about this? Subconscious mind is normally seen from 12th house. 12th house represents our subconscious mind. We can also say planets in the 12th house or 12th lord, but I don't know much about it. Really determines 3D reality and all. I don't have any idea. what it is. But subconscious mind is 12th house. 12th lord, maybe 12th lord dasha, okay, may activate the subconscious mind related things. Does twin flame karmic soulmate connection exist really? Is it true? You better go through my articles on astrology and marriage. Mm, Soulmate, we are searching for soulmates, but we don't know our own soul. Okay, how we can find a soulmate when we don't know our own soul? Karmic connection is always there in every relationship in your life, not necessarily this boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband wife relationship, any relationship. Even if you are commenting here and I am replying to you, this is also some sort of karma. You are exhausting towards me and I am exhausting towards you. So this is the thing. Twin flame is again like it is kind of show society's way to keep you trapped in this institution called marriage. Okay, nothing else. And these are the ways by which society traps you in this institution. Uh, yeah, like I said, if you go through my articles on astrology and marriage, then you may have a better idea of what I'm trying to say. Right, Rahu transit in 7th house results for Libra ascendant during last phase of Rahu Mars Antardasha, just 3 more months left for Jupiter. Right. Rahu transit through 7th house. Rahu remains a malefic planet. 7th house is the house normally seen for relationship, but it is also house of business. So if this person gets into his own business, it is the ideal time to start own business. Libra ascendant people naturally should be doing business. There is no doubt about it. Um, but in relationship matters, it can be a difficult transit where you can have lots of desires to get into relationship or have a nice relationship, because Rahu represents obsession, but at the same time Rahu also represents illusion, so there can be some sort of illusion or cheating involved in relationship matters. Plus Rahu represents breaking of things, because Rahu was cut off from Ketu, so it can like break any relationship also during this time. I guess you skipped the Rahu transit question. Will be great if you can take this. I might have missed. Let me see. Yeah. Anyways, I replied now. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I replied now. Mm, Mercury 7th aspect to 4th house of Gemini. What results related to 4th house in Mahadasha of Mercury? In the case you talked about Mercury in Sagittarius and aspecting back at 4th house. Mercury is wherever Mercury is sitting, we are already communicating in that house related things, and wherever Mercury is aspecting, there is a desire to communicate. So this person may desire to have a very communicative home environment. Okay, there can be desire of home based business also. Okay, so this is the thing. Another thing is that Mercury is aspecting its own sign. It is just like I am standing outside my home and guarding my home. Okay, so it is kind of protection to that house. Mercury is providing. But the dasha results take a long time to analyze. It cannot be done in one comment. Result of for relationship. Yeah, I said. Rahu in 7th house is difficult transit for relationship because person may feel obsessed, but there is equal chance of some illusions happening in relationship, some cheating, fraud, all these things, and Rahu also represents breaking of things. so it can break relationship also. Okay. Today is Sunday. Hi Guruji. Hi madam. How are you? The transit of Jupiter in Capricorn will be same result as previously transit of Jupiter in Capricorn. More or less. More or less, we will be visiting the same things again. It is retrograde transit, so it is like reflecting back again at those events which earlier happened. Okay. Does conjunction of Jupiter and Venus, 7 degrees conjunction, amplify Venus, make Venus stronger? It amplifies. We cannot say it is making it stronger and all. Whatever the result of Venus that is promised in someone's chart, it can enhance further. If good results, then good results will enhance. If bad results, then bad results will enhance. In this case, Jupiter is in Purva Ashada and Venus in Mula. This conjunction can be best utilized in any kind of higher education, teaching, guiding and counseling related work, because Jupiter, Venus both are teachers. Sagittarius is sign of teaching, so that is where it can give the best results. Does Rahu in Venus sign in 5th house act as Venus? Yeah, we can say so. It acts like Venus, but then Venus position is also very important. Okay, that how Venus is placed in someone's chart, that also becomes important with Rahu in Taurus or Libra, and then look at Venus position. Okay, gotcha. Rahu in Mercury Nakshatra, Rahu and Mercury Nakshatra exchange. It can do well in like any collection of information kind of thing, that and also depends on which nakshatras are getting involved, because Mercury has 3 nakshatras, Rahu has 3 nakshatras. Every nakshatra has different role, different characteristics, so this is also important. So we cannot make a generic rule. Very generically, I can only say that Rahu Mercury good for any kind of collection of information, research, and any kind. Rahu in Revati, Mercury Adra, better for spiritual pursuits, but when it comes to relationship matters, it can be difficult. Okay, any kind of relationship, even like Mercury represents siblings, relationship with siblings can be difficult. Do you do private reading? Yes, madam. Go on astrosaxena.in, click on services page, you will get all the information. Then Saturn's progressive from tomorrow in transit. What effect of a Saturn Mahadasha ending in past 3 days? Saturn in Cancer in 5th house. And now the person is in Mercury Dasha, so then that is first good thing, that Saturn Mahadasha is over. Okay, but so then the impact of Saturn may not be that much now. Okay, understand what happens with the Dasha change is that our perspective change. It is not that in 3-4 days the whole life will change of the person, nothing like that. We will see the same thing in different perspective with the Dasha change. Okay, so in Mercury, more gentle planet, more supportive, helpful planet rather than Saturn, so the person may be more optimistic going forward. Okay, but Saturn transit is still going to impact. Okay, whenever Saturn is transiting, it is transiting very slow, so it is going to impact. There is nothing like Saturn is not impacting anyone, nothing like that happens. Relationship trouble in every relationship, but aggressive for education. He is too good and elaborate. Great. Happy. Right. Any further question? Saturn is stationary in transit effect. Stationary planets are actually the strongest planets because the energy is like stuck at one place. So right now, like Saturn is stationary, so it is stuck at one place. So right now its intensity is the highest. Okay, so and that is when the planet is super strong. Okay, again it doesn't mean that super benefic or super beneficial or super good and all that. Okay, Saturn is itself is like a difficult planet, so you can say super difficult right now. Mm, yo, right, no question. Venus, Vishakha, Jupiter, and Purva Falguni, Jupiter, Venus, energy exchange. Again, for this Venus, Vishakha, and Jupiter in Purva Falguni, it is good for any creative matters and knowledge sharing related matters, being a guide or a counselor to others. But when it comes to relationship, it is difficult. Vishakha represents the split. Okay, split into two parts. That is Vishakha. So when Vishakha Nakshatra is involved and Venus is in Vishakha Nakshatra, person can have splits in relationship. So for relationship matters, it is difficult. For finance, for knowledge and knowledge gain, knowledge sharing, it is good. Jupiter in first house in Pisces. Person can be spiritual, but he can be too imaginative also. The difficulty with Pisces people is that they are living in their own world. They are far away from the reality. Okay, in general. Okay, I'm not saying everyone, but in general, it is the case. So they need to work on their practical aspect of life, like being practical, being realistic about life and all. For me, D1 is important. D9 is not important. Okay. D1, your D9 positions are coming out of D1 only. What are the planetary positions for homosexual or lesbian? Is it Mercury? For a guy, okay, if a person is a gay, maybe some issues with Mars, okay. Girl, maybe some issues with the Venus. And what I found is that like nodes axis on the second eighth, okay, understand. Eighth house represents our sexuality, and Rahu Ketu represent unconventional ways. So when Rahu Ketu are involved in second eighth axis, it can bring some unconventionalness in their sexuality. Fair, right. How are you? How do we see change in place with work? You mean to say change in place and work? Both? Anyways, change in home is seen through 11th house. 11th house is 8th from the 4th. If you start counting from 4th house, reach 11th house, there are 8 houses in between. 8th house is always the house of changes, 4th house is home, 11th house represents change of home. And likewise, 5th house is 8th from the 10th. If you start counting from 10th house, reach 5th house, there are 8 houses in between. 8th from the 10th means change of your work. Whenever 5th house gets activated through dasha and transit, person may change his work. What happens with Jupiter and Venus in Capricorn? 5th house Parivartan, exchange, Moon, Saturn in 7th house Pisces. Okay, there are too many things involved. Jupiter and Venus in Capricorn, 5th house, exchange, Moon and Saturn. So it is really the exchange between Jupiter and Saturn. They both are law oriented planet, rules and regulations and all. So for legal career it can be good position. Okay, so if someone wants to follow the legal career, law, litigation, being a lawyer, it is a good exchange. But the career is normally seen on 5-6 different steps, not only on one basis. Also for knowledge gain, it can be good exchange. Person can be focused towards the knowledge. Mars in Taurus, Hitler had. Why is it? Mars in Taurus, Hitler? I don't think so. Hitler had many planets in fire signs. I'm not sure whether he had Mars in Taurus. Anyways, we will check. Why is it means why the planet is there? I cannot tell that. Thank you. Okay. Right. Manglik is only accidental or can be killed, raped, etc. Not necessary. Even accidents are not necessary. Okay, I know a lot of Manglik people and they are living a fine life. Manglik is more defamed. Okay, there are like thousands of Manglik people going on in this world. I don't think that someone being Manglik can be so difficult that they will have accidents and all. The final event depends on lot of things. final event depends on the dasha, the transit, and everything. Not just because of being a Manglik. Okay. Ketu in the second house Aries aspect from Venus and Saturn. What is the question, sir? Please ask questions also along with your planetary placements. In family life, it is a difficult conjunction. Ketu in second house, Aries, and Saturn aspect. Venus aspect won't matter much. Okay, Venus is like gentle, benefic planet. In presence of Saturn, it is not even like having any impact. So it is actually the Rahu, Saturn, and Saturn aspecting Ketu. For family life, it is difficult placement. Also, person may be staying away from family, may have lots of difficulty in saving his wealth. These are the important things. So, person needs to learn how to save his money when Ketu is in the 10th, second house, and this Saturn is there. Another thing which can happen that like person can have problems with the speech also. Not like he can speak obviously, like, but he may not be able to convey his point. Especially when he is speaking in personal life with his relatives, with his family members, he may not be able to convey his point, okay, to other people. So this also happens with Ketu in Aries, second house. Leo ascendant, Venus in second house in Virgo. How to minimize effects of Venus debilitation? For financial matters, it is fine. Venus in Virgo is normally seen for like chartered accountants, anyone working in the stock market. So financial matters, it is fine. Okay, the pinch will be felt in relationship matters. This is where a person needs to learn how to accommodate more in relationship in this life. That is what the purpose of Venus in Virgo is. They need to learn how to be more accommodative, more flexible in relationship. Seventh or eighth, which is Maraka. Seventh is Maraka. Eighth is actually longevity. Seventh is loss of longevity. 12th from the eighth. So seventh represents the death of the person. Second and seventh, they are the markas. Yeah. My mom was Sagittarius Indian. Seventh Taurus has Sagittarius Indian cannot have Taurus sign in seventh house. It will be in the sixth house. It had four planets along with Rahu. Lord of 8th house Jupiter in second house. What we can conclude? We can conclude that in initial life, when child is growing up and all, there can be lots of sudden events and transformations are are happening in the family. Okay, it also shows lots of changes happening in family. We can also say person is gaining a lot from knowledge sharing. Okay, also possibly from a stock exchange, business benefits. Okay, uh, Mom, Sagittarius ascendant, Taurus, Rahu with three planets died in accident. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, I think it is over. Lord of fifth house, moon in fourth house, peace of mind issues. Um, yeah, like moon will be in Gemini for this reason. Like moon is mind, Gemini is traveling. So mind is always traveling. A person needs to meditate. Taurus is house of Venus. So Rahu there shows vehicle accidents. Uh, Again, we cannot have this type of judgment just because of one planetary position, one planet sitting in one house. Okay, this event is like result of the whole chart. It is not about one planetary placement. If any event is happening in your life, good, bad, ugly, it is the result of the whole chart, your dasha, your transits, everything gets involved, then the event happens. Okay, so just because you Taurus is the house of Venus, so Rahu there shows vehicle accident. Rahu in Taurus is there for 1.5 year in transit. So many children take birth during that time period. Okay, we cannot say that all of them are going to have accidents. Okay, I think Mars and Venus was also there, maybe, but like this type of generic opinions are not good. We need to understand that the final event is always happening. First, the chart should show the event. Second, the dasha should activate the possibility. Then the transit should also bring the same indication. Then the event happens. Not just because someone has a planetary placement in the chart. Okay. Moon in Punarvasu Nakshatra Gemini. What may be the major events in life? A person should meditate. Gemini Moon. They are running around. They are like they may have biggest difficulty in focusing at one thing. Okay, so this is difficult for them. So they should meditate to get that focus, that attention, and then it will be better. Moon in Punarvasu. Punarvasu is about rehabilitation, return of the light, return of the hope. So they should bring return of the light in other people's life. Then they will get the best of the results of this position. They should be working as a counselor, healer, and all. That is good for them. Transit Rahu was in Virgo and Ketu in Pisces. Means square her Rahu transit Ketu, Taurus Mula. Mars retrograde in Taurus in third house, aspects ninth house. What result of ninth house expected? Mars seventh aspect on ninth house shows where other people feel that we are kind of dominating them. So like person can, your friends, your colleagues, your family members. Ninth house is the house of your belief system. So they feel that in matters of your belief system, okay, they feel that when it comes to belief system related matters, you kind of dominate them. You kind of push your own belief system that okay, my belief system is much better than your belief system. Okay, so this can happen with Mars aspecting ninth house. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining. I think we are done. It's about 1 hour now. Okay, now we will meet next week, and I may be doing more sessions now as everything is over at home, renovations and all. Mars Rahu in 12th house Cancer sign. Can we minimize the negative effect? We can minimize any negative effect only when we are aware, conscious. Consciously we cannot do anything wrong. Okay. Consciously we can do only good things, right things. Okay. So if you are conscious, if you are spiritually inclined, if you are meditating regularly, if you are conscious of your actions, then you can minimize the negative effect. Otherwise, most of the population is unconscious. Is there Mercury is responsible for teeth disease or weak bones? If not, it is Saturn. Saturn represents bones related with teeth and bones. Right? Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining. Let's talk next time.